Hey, Happy New Year, everyone. This is Penny with Evilsizor. I just wanted to pop in and give you a couple little tips on what maybe you need to be thinking about today before 2022 hits. And so let's see. I'm going to come over here and we're going to get started. So just going to be brief. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but 2022 UCR is something that needs to be taken care of by midnight tonight, because tomorrow, if you're out on the road, the officers will be enforcing this. And I've seen fees or penalties up to $400, $500 with various states if you don't have this filed. So be sure to file the 2022, whether you use us as a service or go to the state agency directly. Either way, we'll get the job done. But another thing that I like to impress upon you and just kind of educate you about is the UCR is linked to the MCS 150. So be sure your MCS 150 is updated as well. Now, if you update the MCS 150, it won't show up correctly in the UCR system until the next day. The systems just have to kind of batch and connect. But you can still go ahead and file it correctly. Now, the UCR is for interstate carriers, brokers, freight forwarders, and leasing companies. However, if there are certain exemptions, intrastate, if you don't ever leave your state, you don't need to file the UCR. And this also applies to if you are listed as an interstate carrier, but not all of your trucks go out of state. So those trucks that do not go out of state are exempt. They do not have to be counted in the tier system with the UCR, because you have the first tier is 1 to 2 trucks, the next one is 3 to 5, 6 to 20, 21 to 100, and on. So if you have, like I had today, a case where a client had 4 trucks, but only 2 went interstate. So he can go ahead and file for the 1 to 2 trucks, even though he has 4 listed. And on the MCS 150, it doesn't distinguish between intrastate and interstate. You just kind of need to make a note of that in your file. So when you download your receipt, or we send you your receipt, just kind of make a note if you have intrastate trucks. So the MCS 150, this really is something that you file on a biennial basis. And what does that mean? That's every 2 years. But it's not based on the date that you opened the account, which would make sense, right? But that's not how this works. So I have a formula for you that I want you to see. Let's just say this is your DOT number. It's probably not anybody's, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So to understand how you file your biennial update, this is how it goes, and it's weird. Okay, so you look at the very last digit, and that's a 7 in this case. So that distinguishes the month. So 7 is July. So we know we have to file it July. But how often? So go to the left a little bit. So the next to the last digit, you have to look at that number and determine whether it's odd or even. So in this case, it's an even number. So if this is your number, which it's not your number, but this is the formula. So whoever owns this number would do their biennial update July of every even year. So July of 2022. Can you do it earlier or later? Absolutely, but make sure that you at least go in July and update that. I've seen a lot of third-party companies sending out MCS 150 updates just for the heck of it. So sit back, you don't have to take in all of that data and in emails or text or whatever you receive and take it hard. Come back to this video and you'll notice, and I'll teach you, and like I just did, on how often you need to file it. So let's say July 2022 is when you need to file it, but you get kind of anxious and it's like, okay, I'm going to do this in June. Don't do that. I mean, you can, but you still need to come back in July. So otherwise, all these third companies are going to be pulling the data from the FMCSA, and you're just going to be confused. So I hope that lessens the confusion. There, you can always come to our website. You can call me, email me, and be glad to help you with that. But again, Happy New Year, and be sure you get your 2022 filed. There are some states, if you have IFTA, you probably need to take care of that too. I know with Texas, here in Colorado, it's auto renewed provided that your IFTA is current, that you filed all your returns. So just kind of take a look. We have a checklist on our website at evilsizor.com. You can go through and just make sure you've got everything lined up. So Happy New Year, everyone, and I look forward to working with you next year. Bye-bye.